Wishing you all a wonderful, blissful day. As much as I am excited, mindfully excited, to bring you another special edition to Choosing Loving Kindness, and this is going to be the 8th episode. So 8th and 9th perhaps. So we are coming to you from the beautiful island of Sri Lanka, from the Light of Asia premises. So I made a special invitation to bring the main person who has been the strength, a pillar of strength to this series of knowledge that we've been giving. So we have Bhante Sujatha with us to talk about a lot of important things. Thank you so much for joining with us. It's such an honor to have you back in the island, and hope you're doing well. And we've seen you doing a lot of projects, traveling around the country. So before we dive into it, let's talk about your stay in Sri Lanka. How has it been?
So like a month ago, I came back to the motherland, and I'm so happy to be here because I can meet my mom and dad and my sister. I can spend some time with them. But same time, usually I didn't have that much time to spend with them because of my charity work and because my life theme now adding more out to the world. Now I travel around the world and helping and doing all my charity projects.
Yes.
That's what my day going by. And also I'm happy, the 2 more weeks I'm going to be in Sri Lanka, then I'm going back to Chicago.
That's nice to hear. So we, this series is called Choosing Loving Kindness. So love and kindness, these words are very diversified. There's romance, there's attachment, there's so much of things behind the word love. But from your perspective, what is love?
I think, you can say there's a double word, loving kindness. I believe, Harushi, love is not a quality. It is a weak human emotion. So now think about in this country or in the world, most of us, we all are in trouble because of this word of love. So people, like in America, when I go to that country, people always using this word, oh Bhante, I love you so much. I feel good about it. So then people say, oh, I love my mom, I love my dad, I love my boyfriend, I love my girlfriend, I love ice cream, I love my dog. I was so confused by that word when people use for this word love for everything. So now finally I realize love is not a quality, it is an emotion. So that's why I add loving kindness. Love and kindness go together. So when we are in emotional state with love, it's okay. But when we are practicing meditation, we can bring that emotional energy to a quality level. That's what I call it, loving kindness.
Definitely. And also a lot of people say that pure love is when you're altruistic, when you give and not expect anything in return.
Rewards.
So I think when you expect something, there is some sort of an attachment to it. So does pure love exist?
Yes. Now think about when you talk about Buddha, so we call about compassion. When you talk about his compassion, we call Mahakaruna, great compassion, because it's unconditional. It is not changing to person to person, place to place, country to country. It is unconditional love. That's the true compassion.
It's true. And we know the highlight of today's discussion is going to be on something very beautiful and very profound. And this is how to control our mind and to understand nature. So what's important is, as far as the mind is concerned, you cannot see it, you cannot touch it, it's intangible, and there's no color or texture or any quality to the mind or the consciousness. But this is what determines everything, all the physicality, the material that's created around us. So something that you cannot even see has so much power in creating things that we can see, we build and we feel. So if you can elaborate on the power of this mind.
Actually, I heard you are using a word, controlling the mind. Personally, I don't like it.
Yeah.
The word control doesn't work.
Control doesn't work.
Control doesn't work. If you control something, it will back up.
That's true.
Yeah. So in the Buddhist teaching, we are not talking about controlling our mind. We are talking about understanding our mind. So we explain the nature of the reality. This is what happened, cause and effect. Then we are allowing that person to understand the situation. So then he is managing his mind, not controlling it. So to manage his mind or her mind, we have to learn how to observe. That's what we call the mindfulness. This is another whole area we have to discuss.
So for instance, let's say something disappoints me and I get angry. So you cannot really see anger, but from your mind you can actually know how it happens. You can keep kind of backtracking into what caused it. So how does this process work, and how can it actually help us be in peace?
Right. So first I want to share my own experience with anger. When I was a young monk, like 10, 11 years old, I was an angry little monk. Right? I'm always angry, I'm always ready to fight, and I'm always ready to argue. It is so annoying to the temple, all the other monks. They don't like me, they start to hate me. And so why? I'm very controlling person. So I really want to see everything way I want. I want to see other monks way I want. I want to see the school activities go way I want. I want to see my teachers and the staff way I want. If things are not under my control, I'm going crazy and get mad. So then later I realized when my attitude going like that, people don't like me. They start to hate me. They keep the distance from me. Then I realized this is not good. Even the day I understand that, I was thinking I want to change this habitual nature in my life. So then little by little I had to understand. I was asking question, why do I get angry? Why I feel this way? Then I realized why I get angry. I always want to control. I want to see everything way I want. Sometimes now think about when we have a rain, we get upset about it. Oh my God, today I have lots of work to do. Today, then we have to stay, the hate rain. Then it is so sunny and, the steamy and hot. Then we are going to, the hate that.
Also.
So whatever happens, we always find a way to get angry. So bus is late, we get angry. Somebody is coming late, we get angry, right? So that means everything we get into our life, frustration, anger and hatred, because we have that expectation, we want to control everything way I want. So the day I understand I cannot control everything, including myself, even I am expecting everybody I want to control everything and everybody, finally I realize I cannot control even myself.
So how can you control
other
else?
people?
That's
so
true.
Then I'm asking, when people have those anger matters and problems, ask that question, why do I get angry?
It's true. And anger is actually one of very few examples of having to control. And one thing we'd like to control is to keep things the way we want. I mean, we feel that sense of security in having things the way we want. If we change houses, we feel uncomfortable. If we don't get the food we are used to, we get upset. Or if like a relationship breaks and you go through the heartbreak, you think like you got so used to that environment that you feel that pain. So it's about the fact that we live in this fluctuation of things coming and going. But we always try to find this permanence, a sense of permanence, stability in this. So the more we try to seek that, the suffering begins. So if you can, from your perspective, if you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, so it's very interesting, the area you are focusing on now. So what I realized my own experience, because I have long years of academic schooling and study about the Buddhist teaching, but I realized many years having that, the educational background, I didn't use those things for my life. So when I have all the life matters about I'm going to another country, mixed with the totally unknown culture, the going away from my comfort zone, and so then I was thinking how I'm going to control my life now and manage myself, this unknown culture, unknown people, very uncomfortable. So then what I realized, first thing I want to understand, I was asking question, what is the nature of life? What is the nature of life? What do you think? What is the nature of life?
To my knowledge, I think nature is actually, there's not a particular definition, but it's just the way it is.
The way it is. That means everything is continuously changing and changing. If everything is changing, there is nothing there permanent.
The only constant is impermanence.
Yeah. So after I understand that nature of life, which is impermanence, I realize life is going smoothing, going well, happy, peaceful. I'm enjoying, because I'm always asking people, there is no time to waste. Life is short but precious. Hurry up, people, and enjoy this. There is no time to kill. All these people killing time. So I'm saying there's no time to kill.
That's true. And I think we live in a system where we're so busy trying to make a living that we're actually not living life.
Right, exactly.
So that's the other thing I want to actually, this is going to lead into another topic, of course. In the current system, we always tend to seek happiness on something else, like luxuries. We go and get an education. We try to develop our social profile. We have all these things, and we always tend to believe, we're always in a chase telling ourselves that happiness is outside. Right, we always depend on authorities, we always depend on governments to make our lives better, we always depend on our loved ones to make us happy in our relationships. But at the end of the day, if you are not content, no matter how much input you get, you'll always be sad. So if you're not happy by yourself, you cannot expect someone else to make you
And
happy.
also it's very interesting, you use the both word in happiness and contentment. So I can see all the people in this world, they are looking for happiness, right? That's why they are unhappy. Right?
That's true, looking for it.
You know, happiness for many people is a materialistic world, getting things and all the material things, receiving to their life, people and things. So I have very interesting experience, Hiroshi. One time I was hiking in Arizona. So early morning I was top of the mountain and sitting there and waiting for sunrise. And I saw two dogs both side of me and sitting, and their tongue out, they're tired and exhausted. Then I was thinking, how come there's two dogs? Then I get up and look around. Then I saw two people coming bottom of the mountain, because you know the dogs hike very fast. And so then now they are sitting and you know they're resting themselves. And so then the owners, they said, let's go. Then these two dogs, they don't want to go. They're sitting there. Then owner says, what did you do to my dogs? And I said, nothing. And so that moment, what those owners did, you know, they have backpacks and grab a water bottle and little doggy cups and gave some water to the dogs. And they, you know, use some water. Now they're totally fine. They're sitting and relaxing. They don't want to go anywhere. So then I realized they came, their tongue out and thirsty. Now they are totally fully content after that experience. And so then I realized that's what, when people feel this is enough, I have enough, then they can content.
That's true.
Because when we are searching happiness, happiness is pleasurable. It's a pleasurable activity. So when you eat ice cream, you feel happy.
Yes,
When you eat like a bitter meal or food, then you are unhappy. So I'm always asking people, don't search for happiness, look for contentment.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think the make you search and yearn for it, it gives you that
Right.
struggle. And
Right.
and also I think happiness has always been there. It's just up to you to kind of go and search
How
for
to
it.
deliver to the different direction. It's totally up to you. You know, suffering is optional.
It's true.
Yeah, suffering is optional.
That's true.
Yeah.
So contentment is the way to go. Feeling that it's enough.
Yeah. There's another good word for the contentment. We feel satisfied.
Satisfied.
Right? Then nobody cannot change that quality. Why? Your deep heart telling you, I'm satisfied, I'm okay, I'm fine, it is enough for me. You know, we have to look for that satisfaction in life.
You always see that the fullness.
Right, yes, full.
Even though there is an empty space, you see what's full.
Right,
and
exactly.
you kind of assume to yourself that's the saturation.
So when people are happy, other people can come and change you.
That's true.
When you are happy, then your mind is going to so many different directions. When you are content, you are fully satisfied. So satisfaction comes with realization, understanding about the life, and through your meditation practice. Happiness comes from the outside sources,
That's
people
true.
and things.
That's true.
Right.
And also to kind of facilitate the inward thinking, as I mentioned earlier, that the way the mind works has a lot to do with how you see the outside world. And as much as we kind of absorb, we have to project. So what we know is that when it comes to things like meditation, it has been one of the most profound exercises that we use to kind of incorporate it into our lifestyle. So what I read this somewhere, it says that praying is you're speaking to the universe, whereas meditating is you're listening to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so it's like this exchange of energy can take you a long way. So if we talk about the anisansa or the positive benefits of meditation, how can you achieve it?
So the first, Hiroshi, I want to explain to you the word meditation is especially in the Western culture, even in the the Eastern culture, it's a very popular subject, and everybody wants to meditate. People are running around and crazy looking for the meditation teachers and practices, and now there are so many teachers and options when you think about the meditation. Now when we have so many options, people are so confused about this. Sometimes people asking, what kind of meditation practice do you do, Bhante? Or you are doing samatha, or you are doing vipassana, or those questions always people asking. So I think because of those options, people walk away from the meditation. It's very confusing to many people. I think according to my understanding, it is very simple and easy practice. So first we have to understand what is the meditation. We have Sanskrit word for, especially our countries, we are using this Pali and Sanskrit word, we call the bhavana, because we are doing bhavana. It translates into English as a meditation. I really don't like that translation. Why? Meditation, when we translate as a meditation, it doesn't explain the true meaning of the word the bhavana. Bhavana is not meditation, it is cultivation, developing your mind. This makes sense?
Yes.
So we have to develop our mind. So now I can see some people are practicing many years. Sometimes people come to me and telling me, oh Bhante, I started doing meditation even before you born into this world, maybe 55 years ago. They get the credit. But when I'm looking at them everyday life, they are the same annoying and difficult people.
Difficult people.
Right? But they have knowledge and tremendous knowledge about technical point, they have all those knowledge, but in life they don't have it. So this is a very good point, Hiroshi. If you practice meditation every day, how you are going to see it? You are flourishing that quality in your life. Number one, okay? So when you are practicing meditation, you become so loving kindness. This makes sense? You become so loving. So loving to who? To yourself.
Yes.
When you are practicing meditation, first you are loving to yourself. How? Physical, the loving kindness, and mental loving kindness. So when you are practicing meditation, first you love yourself. Put your oxygen mask first before you assist other person. Exactly the same teaching. So when you love yourself, first you have to love your physical body. Some people, oh, I am practicing meditation, I don't care about the body, body is the changing, is impermanence, they are neglecting their body. That's not loving kindness. That means they are hating themselves. So what I am suggesting people, so when you are practicing meditation, first thing you understand, no matter what, I have to love my physical body. Then healthy eating, exercise, you are balancing your life. Then you have to meditate. We call, now there's two words very popular in this world, mind body balance.
Mind body balance.
That's the first quality, loving yourself. Then the result is loving the world.
Loving the world.
Okay. Number two, become so compassionate. That means feel for other people's pain and difficulties. Then you do some action. So true compassion is how I am going to help you without hurting to myself. That quality also increasing when you practice meditation. Now when I travel around the country, especially Sri Lanka, I meet so many poor people, the lots of help, they don't have houses, they don't have water. I feel for them. But I know I cannot take care of everybody and everything. But I do whatever I can. I feel for them, but I do whatever I can, but I don't take everything to my life to hurt myself. Makes sense?
That's true.
That quality also increases.
That is also a balance.
Yeah, it's balance, right? Then the third one we call sympathetic joy or appreciative joy. So when you see something good happen to somebody's life, think about your best friend got a brand new car. Then you feel so happy about it. Go and wishing her, I'm so happy for you, you got a new car. We call the rejoicing together. You are enjoying it with her. So that quality also increasing, opposite of jealousy. Right? The fourth one, when you are practicing meditation, I can give you so many qualities. These four qualities. The fourth one is we call the equanimity. Any situation, something good happen in life, something bad happen in life, you are losing things, you are gaining things, all those things happening in life, any situation, you keep yourself balanced. So when you are practicing meditation, those four qualities, going really even and balanced in your life, that means you can see my meditation is working.
It's working.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think the fundamental characteristic here is the equilibrium
Yeah, exactly.
of everything. The
That's
external
right.
environment, the internal environment, the mind, the body,
Yeah.
you against others, that the balance of loving and kindness.
Right,
That's
exactly.
definitely the fundamental quality.
Yes.
And also, I would like to know, in a practical setting, meditation, we kind of take our own time and space, we get into a position, we do it. But beyond this, how can we meditate throughout? How can we get the, let's say, bhavana? How can we get the that practice and incorporate it into our normal lives? For instance, if we say we're cutting a vegetable, instead of wondering what I have to eat tonight, instead of wondering whether your best friend texted you, instead of doing that, you can just simply focus on cutting the vegetable. So that's like being aware
Kind
of
of
the
meditation,
moment. Yes.
yeah.
So
Being in the present.
Exactly, being in the moment. So like that, how can we incorporate and train ourselves to take the meditation out of the meditating environment into our average life?
So the first thing, Hirushi, I want to mention you, if you are planning to take your life to that direction, first you have to find noble friendship. You have to have noble teachers and noble guidance, somebody who can guide you to that direction. Sometimes I can see people going to the different teachers and gurus and swamis, and then they become kind of brainwashed. It's very dangerous. So you have to find that noble person who can guide you and assist you and help you and giving you the exact right information. So otherwise that meditation doesn't work. Because I'm so happy to inform you, and I found wonderful teachers in my life, and they are really updated, they know the modern world, and they guided me to real meditation practices. I'm so grateful for that opportunity. That's why I'm always asking, if you want to practice meditation, please find that good teacher. When student is ready, teacher will appear.
It's true.
So when your mind is ready, teacher will come.
And also you can seek shelter in the Dhamma itself as
Right,
well.
exactly. So then I am asking, if I say, oh, Hirushi, can you meditate every day 2 hours? Then your face going, right, you don't want to. So I asked in the beginning for my students, can you meditate 1 hour every morning? Then their face, they don't like it. They don't have time for that. Now I know how to trick their mind. And so how I'm asking now, can you meditate every day 2 minutes? Then everybody said yes. So 2 minutes meditation change your life. Right? Otherwise people are so stuck in the time. So as I said, the meditation is going beyond the time. But as a beginner, please put some energy to practice every day, like 2 minutes. Wake up in the morning, drink glass of water, and take few deep long breaths and letting go and relax your body. Then bring little loving awareness to yourself. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful, I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. Okay? So having that intention, then you can focus on your breath. Why? Breath is life. Very simple. So then focus 20 times. Breathe in 1, breathe out 2. Natural, ordinary breaths. When you focus and breathe in and out like 20 times, 2 minutes is gone. So if you do 7 consecutive days, this meditation, you can see tremendous change in your life. So what I'm trying to do now in this world, teaching children, young people, please practice the 2 minutes meditation every day. It will change your life. So then you get into that, the training part. You are training your mind every day, doing sitting or walking or lying down or whatever position you want to do, that you can do it. So when you do that, what will happen, Hirushi? You are calming down. When you get angry, what will happen to your breath? It's very fast. Then people are angry. That means you are destroyed and distracted. Your life is distracted. So when you are meditating, it's calming down your mind and body. It's like how Buddha used analogy is like a murky pond. It's the pond is murky or dirty. You cannot see the bottom of the pond. What we have to do? Then you have to be patient and wait until it's calmed down. Then you can see the bottom of the pond. Then you can see all the precious things. You can see fish. Same thing with the mind. Why we have to train our mind every day, these 2 minutes or whatever time we are meditating? you are calming down with your breath, settle down everything, then you can see everything radiates.
So Somnahansa, now as we spoke about it, this meditation, or we can say cultivation of mindfulness, from basically meditation is a way to kind of discipline yourself and train yourself on the technical side. How can we, once you achieve that level, how can we take it outside, beyond the realm of just meditation, and apply it to your everyday life?
It's a good question, Hiroshi. Now as I said, every day we have to do that 2 minutes meditation practice and breathing exercise. Then after you calm down yourself, then you little by little you understand life. Then you go to work, for example. On the way somebody is honking. So how you react? How your emotion is working around that? Somebody is pointing the fingers at you or something like that. So how you keep yourself? Then you can see where's your mind, where's your practice. Does make sense?
Yes.
So now think about, you go to work. There's an annoying person at the workplace. How you are managing with that person without being distracted yourself. So that is your practice. So then come home and there's some family matters going on. Then how you are living your life in that situation. Otherwise, what I can see, Hiroshi, the everyday life, people do lots of meditation, go to the temples or meditation centers, they are doing, but when they are living their life every day, I don't see it. As I said, they are so annoying, so difficult to talk, never listen. Why they are so annoying? Why? That training and practice doesn't come together. They think it's a total two different things. It is not two things, it's one thing.
It's one thing.
Yeah.
And I think I remember I read it in one of the books. It's called The Sound of Silence by
Right.
Ajahn Brahm. And it said that when he was doing meditation, there was a crow who was like really loud, and he was really like annoyed and disturbed by it. But then he was saying, as much as the crow is disturbing me, I'm disturbing the crow.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just definitely a clash of energy, and you know that if you're bothered by it, you should do something about it.
Yeah, that's why I said in the beginning, suffering is optional. It's
optional.
totally up to you.
It's totally optional.
So how you receive it, I can remember a long time ago, one of my brother monks and both of us having a lunch outside, and so we just grabbed our lunch plate and sit down outside, and then we saw a cat and chasing some animals, and so then other monk, what he did, he dropped his plate and running behind the cat, and he doesn't want to see cat is go kill and that the little animal. And so then I was just sitting there and watching it. I start laugh. What you are doing? You have big plate in front of you. You are going to ruin his lunch, right? So in that moment I was thinking, that's not my job to go and stop that. So I just accepting it. That's the way it is. That's a samsara. That's his life.
That's true. And we're all in that circle of energy.
So then I just let it be. It is not the whole end of the world.
That's true. It's rather not pushing, not pulling it, but letting it be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think, as we all know, it's the nature of things. And this is something from the Lion King movie, actually, when Simba was asking Mufasa that why are these animals who are worshipping you, why do we end up eating them?
Right.
And then he was saying that, but we die and we become grass and they eat us.
Right.
So that's the beauty of
Right.
how this universe plays.
Right.
And in this entire realm, as you said, the same thing can affect two people differently depending on how
the
they
way
receive
you
it.
understand it,
Yes.
way you see it.
That's true. And so taking meditation to your day-to-day world, how can we take it beyond us? How can we, with compassion, with love, with understanding, how can we have that positive effect rub off on someone else in a positive way?
Yeah. I think another good word we have to discuss, Hiroshi, the word mindfulness.
Mindfulness.
The mindfulness is also a very popular subject here in this world right now. Everybody wants to know about the mindfulness. We call the sati in the Pali language, and I think the best word I found so far for the word mindfulness in English language, introspection. So that means our awareness going inward, not going outward. Now think about everyday life. Always we are looking at other people, their problems, social norms, social matters, politics. Always we try to fix outside world. But we know the problem is in me. Problem is in us.
The need for us to fix it.
Right,
where it's
exactly.
coming from.
I think if you want to fix that the external world, we have to fix our own internal world, because you are the world. I am the world. Because my influence is very powerful effect to the outside world. Now think about this beautiful place. It is a thought of somebody's mind.
Definitely.
Somebody's mind. So in that sense, what we have to practice now, practice of mindfulness, awareness or introspection. So I want to explain, when you are practicing mindfulness, there are 3 sections we have to focus on everyday life. Paying attention. Paying attention to what? Paying attention to your senses. Now think about, your senses are not working. No problem.
Yeah.
You are dead.
That's
Right?
true.
Now because of all the senses, we are communicating with outer world, with things. We see things, we hear things. When we are aware about our senses, it's like we have a guard or watch at the gate. He or she is watching who is coming in. So we are screening. So when we are paying attention, we are screening what are the things we are taking in from outside.
That's true. And also, Bodhisattva, Bhante, this is something I read somewhere. What they say is like people, they get drunk, on alcohol, and they have a life, and they don't really sober up, and they live this very dramatic, over-exaggerated life. Just like that, even we are intoxicated and drunk by these senses.
Right.
And we need to reach that sobriety
Right, exactly.
by looking inwards. Is
So
that-
yeah, that's true. I can see always what we are doing right now in this world. People get excited. We are making our senses excited. So one day I was driving in a highway. I saw a big billboard. It says, "Excite your senses." I was excited about that too. And so then what I did, I turned the car and I was reading that billboard. Then I was so excited to read it again. I want to know what it is. And then I realized it's a food commercial. It's very interesting, So then I realized why they are telling, excited your senses. That's the problem in the world. We are always abusing and exciting our senses. That's why we have obesity, keep eating, or some people, they don't eat. And so always we go to the extreme, right? So what I am suggesting, now think about it, there is a bag of chocolate. When you see that, we just keep eating.
Yeah.
We are so excited.
Visually excited
right,
and
exactly.
taste buds
But
as
yeah,
well.
then we don't know how to manage our senses. That's what we call the paying attention. Okay, that's a number 1. Number 2 is a whole big explanation. I try to summarize. Number 2, live in the present moment. What is the present moment? People say, don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future, do it now. What I was questioning myself, can we do this?
Can we do this
Right,
now?
exactly, right? Then I realized I cannot. So then people say, don't worry about your past. The day I die, I can forget about it. Until then, I remember what I did in the past. Now, when you practice meditation, what will happen to your past? Still, you remember them. But it is not hurting you anymore. Right? That's how we have to handle the past with learn the lesson, bring into the present. So then do the present thing. Then people say, don't worry about your future. Always say, don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the future. I think they are crazy for me. I think they are crazy when they say that. We all are concerned about our future. Maybe you are very concerned about your future, what I'm going to do, when I'm going to marry, and about life. So it's a very interesting experience I have when I turn into 50. And I remember one young man, my old student came to the temple and said, they are getting ready for my birthday celebration, all week activities at the temple. Oh my God, I cannot believe you are all monk now, you are very young, came here, they are laughing, everybody. And so, then he asked me a question, what you are going to do after you are very all monk? I didn't think about it that day, when he asked that. Then I went home and I tried to sleep. Then I started to think, that's true. Now I'm 50 years old. He asked me, where are you going to live? In here or Sri Lanka or go to other? I was so worrying about my future. I couldn't sleep that night. End of the night, I realized I'm crazy. I can think about my future. Worrying about it doesn't work.
Yes.
Now,
Absolutely.
when I think about my future, I have 10 plans for my future. I'm planning to come to Sri Lanka when I want to. I'm planning to stay in the United States. I make all the, everything set up for that. I have other few plans to go to different places. Now I know in reality, I can make the 10 plans. One day I have to go with one. I'm ready for that. So that's how we are handling the future. So understanding that, come to the present moment. Otherwise, the people who are practicing meditation, oh, don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future. But nobody is in the present moment. So you can see the confusion in this practice now.
I think even the past, you just have to let it be.
Right.
And with the presence of that information, you cultivate your present moment.
Right.
And also in the future, as I think we spoke about contentment.
Right.
Whatever it is, I'll be okay.
Right.
It will be, should be,
right,
that's definitely a good
and
idea,
also when you feel yourself content, you have to look around the world, how other people live in the society, without food, without water, without medicine. I am okay. So now I am living in America. Why I am complaining about life? If I am complaining, my shortcomings, right, my weaknesses. So then I am looking at other people. Now I am thinking about so many poor people in Sri Lanka. They don't have a place to live. They don't have water to drink. Why I am complaining about life? So changing your perspective about life, then you can enjoy.
Definitely.
That's a meditation.
That's definitely meditation, yes. Right. And also, if we talk about different ways of doing meditation, since we're not mentally upgraded yet, but to begin, we need the training. So for the laymen out there, if we can kind of speak about the types of meditations that are in play.
You are talking about the postures, or?
Yes, and also the nature of meditation, like there's one that's focused on breathing, there's one that you do
so
walking.
The two areas, because there are so many techniques again, right? As I said, people are very confused with those techniques. Sometimes people are saying, you have a jhana, you have this and that, are you enlightened? I don't want to even answer those things. If I'm if I'm content and doing my life well in this present existence, I'm okay. So basic meditation I'm trying to teach people everyday life, the practicing loving kindness. It doesn't mean, Sinhala we say Suapati, not that, not the words. To understand what is the deep, true loving kindness to self and others. That's the first part of the meditation, loving kindness meditation. I guarantee, because I know I was annoying and angry monk when I was young, I changed my whole life practicing loving kindness. Because I'm the model for that. I as example. So I change. I know now I can talk to people because I changed myself. I changed my anger. I changed my hatred because I changed my perspective. And now I'm loving and kind. But don't misunderstand. When I'm loving and kind, it doesn't mean I'm so soft and gentle, and that's wrong too.
Firm?
Yeah, very, very firm. But if I want to say something, I will say it. The hiss, like a cobra, hiss without bite.
That's definitely a good
thought. That's the loving kindness. Hiss without bite. So otherwise people misuse.
That's true. You let anyone hurt you, you let anyone penetrate your life, manipulate you.
Not me. I'm very good with that too, right? Because I'm running organization, always I have to deal with the people. So the second part of the meditation, everyday life, is a breathing meditation. The breath means life. You can focus on your life. Very simple. All other meditation practice, I'm asking the current world, the people, leave it behind.
Leave it behind.
Just follow those two steps.
Yes. And also one other thing that by being mindful, we see the illusion of believing in the ego, because the ego has magnetic properties. We always think that everything revolves around us. Everything should be, around us, satisfying us. So this power of ego, like how can we tame this magnetic power of ego through meditation? And we can talk about the levels of ego along with it.
Now the good thing, especially in Sri Lanka, many people trying to do meritorious deeds. When behind those meritorious deeds, we call the pinkama, lots of ego is behind. Why? They have lots of expectation. So what I'm asking, we all have to work on eliminate our ego. When we eliminate our ego in a deeper level, then whatever activity we are doing everyday life is become a meritorious act. So sometimes people say, without ego, how we are going to survive? Perfectly right. So when we talk about ego, there are two different truths in this world. One is we call the conventional truth. Now your name is Hiroshi.
I think, yeah, that's,
Right,
that's my
you
name.
know, right, because that's your name. Why you call Hiroshi? There are so many other girls. Why? They have to give different names. So differentiate, we have to use the different names. Car. When you go to the car, different cars, different shapes. That's what we call giving names. That's what we call conventional truth. Other one is ultimate truth. What is ultimate truth? Understanding there is no such thing called conventional in reality. That is ultimate. To survive, we use the now think about, this is your book. You call my book. When you try to touch it or take it, from you, you say, Hamdru, this is my book. Don't take it. It is yours now. Conventionally yours. Now, before I come here, I didn't have a cushion to sit. Now, right now, when you try to sit here, I said, no, Hiroshi, you cannot sit here. This is mine. That's a conventional. But I understand when I'm done the program,
That's not yours.
that's not mine. So that's how we have to understand it. The ownership.
It's basically for convenience. We have this label system that we work on.
Exactly. So the one teaching the Buddha explained, ego is believing something not exist. Believing something not exist. That's conventional, right? Believing something not. Who is I? Who can explain the I? When I'm asking, I go, sometime I heard one of my teachers is called I, my and mine syndrome. It is a syndrome. It is really affecting to people's everyday life, hurting themselves. But conventional world, we have to use I and my and mine. I remember I had an old car a long time ago, and so always breaking down. And so finally, my community, they said, you have to have a new car. Then he took me to the Toyota dealership and bought me a new car. Okay, it's very interesting. That day I'm taking the car home. That night I couldn't sleep. Why? I was thinking this is my car. Somebody will take it because my first brand new car. Right? So then I realized how many thousand times I was driving by this Toyota dealership. I didn't have any interest about even one car. Right after I put my name into it, it's become mine.
Then you develop that bondage.
Now I love my car. I clean it, I organize it, I service it, and I do everything. If something happened to my car, I'm totally fine with it.
That's true. I think it's, as long as it's there, you optimize the use of it, but you just don't get an attachment
Right,
to it.
exactly.
That's true. I think even keeping fit.
Right.
It's nice to go to the gym. It's
Oh,
nice to
yeah.
as long as you're not attached to it, and as long as you don't cry every time you gain a pound or
Right.
try to starve yourself to
Right.
death. It's nice to do it, enjoy it, and just let it be.
Yeah, that's a very interesting. Sometimes when I do exercise, especially in Sri Lanka, people always looking at me. Oh my God, monk is in the gym or something. Because when I go to the hotel, I go to little exercise and stretches, and people are not used to that. I think that's a part of the meditation practice. We all have to do some physical activities as our meditation practice too. Otherwise, how we are going to? This is a vessel to carry this mind. If you are not really taking care of this body, how we are going to take care of the mind? That's a part of the meditation too.
It's like if you live in a broken house, the rain will hurt you,
Right.
the water will come in,
Right,
the heat will
exactly.
come, the robbers will come. Just like that, the more you the more your body is permeable and prone
Right.
to damage, it will control your mind, it
Right,
will hurt you as
exactly.
well.
Yeah.
That's really nice to know. So we did talk about a lot of things, but before we wrap up on our edition, is there anything else you would like to discuss on, or kind of give a final message?
The message I want to give to people: life is short,
Yes.
and also it's a precious. Have fun.
Have fun. Have fun. Don't get attached. Don't push things away. Don't
Right.
try to pull things.
Right.
Just enjoy it while it's there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rishi.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Bhante
thank you,
Sujatha.
thank you.
It's been a pleasure to do this special edition with you. All the very best with everything you do.
Thank
And
you.
may you take the bliss of nirvana, the beauty of the vision
you.
to the world.
Thank you. All the blessings to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.